this is the moment where the blackberries are starting to make their big show, and so we are getting on it this year and doing lots of picking. Now when I say lots of picking, what I mean is lots of picking and eating. So that's really what it turned out to be. I took our son early one morning to pick around where we live, and as I was picking, he was just eating, so not very productive, but a great time in any case. And so I'll have to get out there another day and get picking to freeze some for the rest of the year for us to eat. But right now we're just enjoying them fresh, and we're early on in the season, so we've still got some time. I'm also trying to soak up just the beauty of this season, but that has somehow given me a feeling where I just am struggling to be productive. And so this week I recorded all the things that I was doing every day, which sounds a bit tedious, but it helped me see that I was kind of being a little bit lax on getting things done, and that's why I was feeling like I wasn't being productive, because I wasn't being all that productive. And so what I decided to do is make a list of goals in the notes on my phone. And so I made a list of daily goals that I want to accomplish every day, and then a separate list for every week, things I'd like to get done, and then a separate list for my work aspects, which isn't truly work, but more things that I like to do around the blog and the YouTube channel. And then what I'll do at the beginning of the week or throughout the day is come in here and plug in the things that I plan to do for that day or that week. And as I accomplish them, I will check off by putting a little stripe at the end of each line when I have finished it. This sort of manner of planning really helped me because I was able to simplify the things that I had to get done every day or every week, but in a very basic planning way. So not overly planny, but planned enough that I still had some kind of direction that I was working toward, but there was some sort of freedom. And homemaking is so repetitive and so much the same that it's easy to think, oh, I can leave it for another day, I can do it tomorrow, I can do it next week, and get busy doing other things that seem more enjoyable, and then weeks later everything just looks a bit chaotic. And so I love having a bit of a plan, but it's still in bite sizes daily that it's totally manageable. And on my home list for today is laundry. So I'm going to show you our cloth diaper routine. Our son wears cloth diapers here at the house, and then if we ever go out, I use disposable diapers. We have the cloth diapers from Nora's nursery. They have a little towel insert, and then we put a bamboo sheet, I think it's bamboo cloth, on the inside of the diaper, and then I'll just throw that little liner out when he's made a poo or something like that. Just a very easy way to cloth diaper and not have to deal with all the mess when there is one. And about once a week, or sometimes twice depending on how much we're home, I'll come and remove all of these inserts and throw it into the washer. I'll separate all of the liners and the inserts from the diapers and put them in the wash to do a good cycle. Now we keep it in this wet bag, which keeps all of the smell and stench really well. As I mentioned earlier, I've been thinking a lot about productivity, and it was helpful for me to record the things that I was doing every day because I could see that I was spending a lot of time sort of fiddling about. And I think especially as young moms or new homemakers, it's easy to have a lot of things done for us. We have dishwashers, we have washing machines. There's a lot of stuff that used to take a lot of time that doesn't take all that much time today. And it's important that we take that time and turn it into something good instead of saying, wow, I can get this done so quickly, let me now waste time on my phone or on social media. Maybe it's even as quote unquote innocent as sitting and reading a book. But all I mean is wasting time, productive time. And I try to think of my days as a homemaker like I'm going to work, because I know if I were going to work, I would treat that with a lot of respect, I would dress for it, and I would make very good use of my time. And I feel for me in this season it's important to remember that I approach my homemaking in the same way, with the same respect, One of the things I love doing every week is going to our local garden where I help to do some weeding or whatever kind of odd tasks they have that they could use help with. And in trade, they let us take some of the vegetables they have in excess. But today I'm gonna not show you the garden that I worked in because it's not my own, but I'd like to show you our garden. And right now it is popping in flowers. Beautiful delphiniums are just blooming for the second time this season and I love them. We've got lots of shades of blue and I'm picking the last little bit to arrange in our house. We also have tons of other flowers. We've got cosmos and yarrow, and then we also have this butterfly flower plant. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll put a name here while I'm editing so that you can know if you're wondering. We have lots of zinnias, and then our vegetables are popping as well. This is our kale, and then I have a plant of sweet peas over here that has toppled over and needs some assistance standing back up. We're also starting to harvest some potatoes, which is so exciting to be able to eat fresh potatoes from our garden this year. We don't have that great a harvest. We were not that great about keeping up our potatoes when we should have been, and they have not been getting all that much water. So kind of a disappointing season for us for potatoes. But we're learning lots, making mistakes and learning a lot. Our cabbages are doing well though, and so now I'm going to pick them. And then I am pulling off the outer leaves and leaving them right here in the garden. So a really good harvest for us this day. Now we've also received our first rain for the summer. And one of the mornings I went out there over a nap time and planted some beets and carrots because we're getting ready for the fall garden, which is my favorite time of year actually to garden. Much cooler. Seeds come up a whole lot quicker and there's just a lot of reward for me in the fall garden because I love being able to eat food all winter long from our garden, and so we want to plant carrots and beets so that we can pick them throughout the winter from the soil here. And as any homemaker knows, dinner always comes around much quicker than anticipated, and for tonight I pulled out some beef stew not that long ago and thawed it in some cold water. So I'm going to make a stew that I saw in Martha Stewart's one pot meal book that I actually bought for somebody else for a birthday gift and haven't gotten to them yet. And there's a recipe in there that makes some stew with pasta, and so that's what we are making here tonight. First I am searing the stew meat in my cast iron pot just to give it a little bit of flavor. Just as I finished chopping, we had a little man wake up and join us for this cooking session. Now I'm adding a little bit of flour to this stew just because it'll give the sauce a little bit of thickening. And then I'm going to add in the broth and let that come to a boil before I turn it down to simmer for about 25 minutes to a half an hour. Save the sweet potato and the carrots and the zucchini for the end. I didn't add it in while the meat was simmering. I love this time of year. There's just a bounty of vegetables. Everything looks so beautiful and we've got an array of colors here. We also eat with our eyes, and so I really love having the bright greens and purples and oranges in our food. And you'll see even adding it to this stew, it just looks so appetizing and it's vegetables. And at the end, I added in pasta and let that cook until the pasta was soft. And this was dinner for that evening. Well, thank you for joining me here. I hope that you have found some inspiration here this week for your homemaking journey or some meal and gardening inspiration. I hope you have a really good day and catch you in the next video.